Welcome to Excel tutorial. Today, I'll teach you how I have created my sinking funds tracker. You can have a sinking funds tracker where you'll be able to manage all your savings, and it also comes with a dashboard. So I'll teach you from scratch how to create the sinking funds dashboard. Here is how our sinking funds dashboard will look like. So we'll have our key pointers like what is going to be the sinking funds, then how much we have saved total, and then how much we are left to save. And then we have some graphs. After that, we have a funds overview, so where we have all the funds listed, so our goal and how much we're going to save monthly, and we also have a progress, how much percentage we have saved till now. Then we have a contribution tracker, so whenever you're going to contribute to the funds, you can just have an entry over here. Now I'll teach you how you can create this sinking funds tracker from scratch. Let's get started. So first, I'll go and name the sheet as sinking funds. Now I'll try to create the title for the dashboard. I'll just try to combine these cells. I'll say merge center. So here, let me say sinking funds dashboard. So I'll increase the size of this and I'll make it bold, as well as I'll also fill in with the theme color. Now let me give some space at the top for the dashboard and we'll come for the table. So here is where we will have all our funds. First, let me combine all these cells together. So I'll say this as funds overview. And I'll increase the size of this, make it bold, and I'll fill in with a theme color. So next, we'll have different categories in the sinking funds. So let me say that first, we'll have what is going to be our sinking fund. So I'll say sinking fund. Then I'll say what is going to be the goal, how much we want to save. Then we'll have our monthly goal. Next, I'll say at the start how much we're going to save. Then here we'll calculate how much we have saved the fund. Then we'll have how much is left for the target. Next, we'll have the progress. Next, we'll have the estimated months for saving the fund. Then we'll have the estimated date. So this is going to be my funds. So first what I'll do is I'll try to the complete column, I'll try to merge across. So and then I'll little bit adjust the column widths over here. I'll keep this estimated date over there and I'll combine these two columns. I'll say merge across, and similarly these two columns also I'll say merge across. So now we have our complete table. Now I'll make this bold, I'll increase the size, as well as I'll make this center line. Then I'll fill in with the theme color. So now here we can have our different sinking funds. Let's say I'm going to have some different category of sinking funds. First, let me say I'm going to have emergency fund. Then let me say for tuition fees, I want to save some amount. Next, for wedding, and we can say for business capital. And for mutual funds, I'm going to save some amount every month. And then we can have index funds and other funds as well. So we'll just start with these funds. Let's say for the emergency fund, the goal, I'll keep it as $5,000 is going to be the goal. So monthly, let me say I'm going to save 500. So at the start of the saving, let's say I'm going to save, let's say at the start of the fund, I'm going to contribute $1,000 for this fund. And similarly, we'll go and fill in the details for the tuition funds and other funds. For wedding, let's say I'm going to save $7,000. So monthly, I'll save 800. And at the start, I'm going to contribute $1,200. For business capital, let me say $6,000. And monthly, $600. And at the start, I'll contribute $1,200 for this. For mutual fund, let's keep it $3,000. So monthly, $300. And at the start, I'll try to contribute $500 for this. And index fund, let's keep it $2,000. And every month, I'll try to save 500 for the index fund. At the start of the month, I'm going to contribute $100. So this is how we have all our funds. Now what I need to do is I need to convert this into the US dollar formatting. So I'll go and change this to US dollars. So it'll be in the currency formatting. Next, we'll come to the saved left and progress column little later. Now I'll go to the estimated months and estimated date. So let me say that the estimated month, so we can give a number of months in which we'll be able to attain this goal. So here, let me say it's going to be 10 months. So for this, let's say 5 months. And for the next one, let's keep it 9 months. And the other things, I'll just keep it 10 months. And we can also have an estimated date. So for estimated date, we can have any date when we want to accomplish this goal. So let me say this as 20 March, it's going to be 2026. So I'll have this as the date. So for the next one, let's say I'm going to have 12, 12 and 2025. So this is going to be the estimated date. And for the next, I can have it 30, 4, 2026. And I'll have the same date for the other 3 as well. So I'll just copy and paste the same thing. So now we have completed this. Next, we'll go and create the contribution tracker table. So I'll just try to merge these 3 cells together, and then I'll say contributions tracker. And first, I'll have the date, at which date I'm going to contribute, and for which sinking fund I'm going to contribute that to, and then I'll have how much amount I'm going to contribute. So I'll adjust the rows and I'll make this bold. I'll increase the size and also I'll fill this with the color. So similarly here also I'll make the center line. I'll increase the size and then I'll fill this with the color. So now let's say that we can enter some details like on which day, how much amount we are going to contribute to which sinking fund. So here, let me say that 1st August 2025, I'm going to contribute to the emergency fund. So I'll just copy the same emergency funds over here. Let's say I'm going to contribute to the emergency fund. So I'll say emergency fund. And let's say I'm going to contribute $600 for the emergency fund. So similarly, on the same day, let me do some 3-4 contributions. So here, I'll say for tuition fees, I'm going to contribute $250. And for the next thing is that for wedding, I'll do $600 contribution. And next, for the index fund, I'll do $330 contribution. So here is our contribution. We can try to enter our contributions over here. So here you can maintain your contribution. So how much ever you're contributing to the sinking fund, you can just enter all this contribution on this table. Now I'll come to the saved part. So in the funds, we are going to calculate the saved. So here saved is actually nothing but we need to add the starting value as well as how much ever we have contributed in the contributions tracker, how much ever we have contributed, we also need to add that value to the save. So here I'll be using the formula. So first I'm going to say is equal to, here I'll say if, and then I'll open the brackets. So first I want to check whether the goal is there. So I'll select this and then I will say is equal to, I'll open and close the quotations over here, and then I will give a comma and then I'll give open and closing quotations. So now if the value is not empty, so if there is some value in the goal, then we need to find the sum of the values. So here I'm going to use the sum if condition. So I'll say sum if, and then first what I need to do is I need to select the range. So from where I am going to select. Here I am using the sum if. So the sum if, it will calculate with the condition. So here the condition is nothing but if it is going to be emergency fund only, then I need to add the emergency fund, whatever contribution I have made. In case if it is going to be tuition fees, only the tuition fees I need to add it. I should not add all the other funds. It will become wrong over here. So that's why I'm using the sum up function. So the range here is nothing but the first range is completely our Q column. So what I'll do, I'll say Q colon Q I'll just give. So here you can see the complete, the column is getting selected, and then I need to give the criteria. So what is going to be the criteria? The selection criteria. Selection criteria is nothing but the emergency fund. So this word is going to be the selection criteria. So I'll select this selection criteria, comma. So from where it should find the sum range. So the sum range is nothing but it should find from the R column. So what I'll do is I'll say R colon R. So now you can see it is trying to add up the value from the R column. Now, so this is the formula for the sum if. Now I'll close this brackets, and then what I'm going to do is I also need to add the starting value. So how much ever I have contributed to the start, I also need to add that. So I'll say plus I'll add the starting value. The starting value was at the G29. So I'll add this and then I'll close the brackets. So now when I press enter, you can see I'm getting the sinking funds. The total sinking fund is nothing but how much ever I have saved is 1600. So at the start it is 1000 and here we have saved 600. So the total is 1600. Similarly, I need to do this for the complete column. So here I'll go and change the function little bit. So what I'm going to do is I need to do the absolute referencing. So here the E column is going to be fixed. So I'll give a dollar symbol. I'll do the absolute referencing, and similarly the Q is going to remain the same. So I'll do the absolute referencing for the Q column. Similarly here the C is going to be, the column is going to be same, only the row numbers are going to change. So I'll say I'll give dollar symbol before C, as well as for the R also it is going to, the sum range is also going to be the same. Okay, so I'll give the dollar symbol. So then I'll press enter. So now if I try to flash fill this, you can see I'll get the how much ever amount I have saved, I'll get it correctly. So you can see here it's going to be 900 at the start I have saved, but here I have saved 250 for the tuition fees. So for tuition fees, 900 plus 250 is $1,150. So we are getting it correctly. So I'll convert this into US dollar formatting. So here we'll get it. So for index fund, you can see initially it is 100. Here also saved is also 100. So here I have entered index fund 330, but it is not added over here. So the reason is that here the word I have given is index funds. So S is there. Here I just said index fund. So I'll add S over here. Now you can see it has got changed automatically. So now we have found out how much we have saved. So if we want to calculate the left, it's easy. So what is going to be our goal? So I'll say is equal to our goal minus how much ever we have saved. So this is going to be the left. So I'll try to flash fill this for the complete row. So next is we need to find the progress. So progress is nothing but it should be in percentage, right? So the percentage, so how much ever we have saved divided by the goal into 100. So that's going to be the percentage. So here I'll say how much ever we have saved divided by the goal, and I'll multiply that with 100. So this is 32 we are getting. So that means 32% is being saved. So if I convert this into percentage, it's automatically getting multiplied by 100. So what I'll do, I'll just go and change in the formula. So just H29 divided by E29. So now when I press enter, I'll get 32%. Similarly, I'll try to flash fill over here. So when I flash fill, we'll get the progress percentage also. So this is how we can try to have our funds overview and the contribution tracker table. Next, we'll try to go and have our dashboard ready. So first, I'll have some key pointers. I'll try to combine these two cells. So here, I'll say total sinking fund. So then here, let me have a space to enter the details. So next, here, let me have the next key pointer. So that is total saved up. And I'll try to select these three. And then I'll say merge and center. So I'll come to the next. So here I'll merge and center. And here we'll have how much is left to save. And I'll combine these three cells. So I'll do the formatting for these three. I'll increase the size and make it bold, and I'll make it center align. And I'll fill in the color for this, or do for this and for this. So now if I want to have our total sinking fund, so it's nothing but our goal is going to be our total sinking fund, right? So here I can say is equal to sum of, and then I can try to calculate the sum of our goal. So when I press enter, so this is our total sinking fund. And then if I want to calculate the total saved up, so I'll say is equal to sum, and then I'll open the brackets. So here I'll select the complete saved range. So now when I enter, so this is the amount how much you have saved. And if I want to calculate the left to save, I'll say is equal to sum, and then we have a left to save over here. So I'll select this completely, and then I'll press enter. This is the amount which is left to save. So now I'll try to format these as well, make it center line and make it bold. Next, let me create some graph for the sinking fund. We'll try to create a graph for the saved versus left. So I'll select this and I'll select the left. So now I'll try to go to insert, and then I'll go to column chart. So here we have a double bar chart. So 2D bar chart. So I'll try to have the stacked bar chart. So now when I try to have the stacked bar chart, you can see this is how it looks. So I'll have the title as Sinking Funds Overview. And a little bit increase the size of this. So here you can see all the blues are nothing but these are the saved, and the orange are left to save. Also we can go and change the color. So I'll just try to go and change the color according to our theme color. So I'll have this color for left to save, and for save, let me have this color. So this is the sinking funds overview chart. Now we'll try to have a chart for saved versus left. So here I'll try to find the total. So we'll have the total. So for the total of our goal, we'll have it here. And similarly, I'll have it for the saved. So is equal to sum, and then I'll select this complete data. So similarly here also, I'll have sum, and then how much is left to save. I'll find the sum of that. So now we'll try to do a chart for saved versus left. So now I'll try to insert. I'll go to pie chart. I'll have a pie chart. So here is the pie chart. So we'll get a pie chart for saved versus left. So I'll name the chart as saved versus left. And so if you want to show our percentage, so I'll go to quick layout, and then I'll have the percentage showed over here, and maybe I'll change. So we'll have only the percentage, and the legend we can just so I'll select the legend and I'll move it to the bottom. So we'll have our graph. We can also change the color. So I'll change the color, fill color. I'll go to fill color, and then I'll change it to our theme color. This is saved versus left chart. So we can see 76% is left to save and 24% is saved. So next we'll have a contributions chart. Let's consider some key sinking fund and then see how much it's going to contribute. So we'll have our sinking fund. We'll select the first 5 sinking fund, and then I'll select the goal, how much we have kept, and I'll go to insert. Similarly, I'll create a donut chart, and then we can have a donut chart over here. So from here, we will be able to see for which fund we are allocating more. So here also we can change the quick layout. I'll have with the percentage, maybe just we'll have like this. You'll be able to see it. You'll have all the funds over here and the contribution. So here I'll have the sinking fund contribution, and I'll also change the color of this to a theme color. So this is our sinking fund dashboard. So where we have created the funds overview. So what are going to be the funds? We have declared the goal, and then we also have a contribution tracker where we are able to enter how much amount we're going to contribute each and every month. That will get added up, and then we'll have how much is saved and how much is left to save. So on the dashboard, we'll be able to see our total sinking fund, how much is saved, how much is left to save with the graph. So if you're looking to download this template, I have given the link in the description. You can go and download it from there. I have created tons of Excel and Google Sheet templates for project management, productivity, personal finance, and many more. All these templates comes with commercial rights and master resale rights. You can try to edit as per your wish and share it with as many people. I have given my website link on the description. You can go and check it out. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another Excel or Google Sheet tutorial.